Girl Power is an organization based in Montreal, Quebec, Canada, and the goal of our organization is to promote the rights of girls in Egypt, in urban and more importantly in rural areas, and to eliminate the disparity between men and women concerning their rights. According to UNICEF, 1 out of 3 girls in Egypt were not enrolled in a secondary education in 2010. This means that 12 million Egyptian girls did not attend high school that year. A large percentage of this number came from rural areas. The source of this problem can be linked to poverty and gender favoritism in their culture. Because of their lack of family income, they tend to send the boys to school and have the girls work in order to increase the net income of their family, so that they may sustain their way of life. There are few schools in rural areas due to the majority of the land being used for farming and most of the other land being ruined by deserts. That leaves little land left to create schools. With this lack of schools, there is less of an enrollment opportunity, which causes the parents to prioritize the education of the boys rather than the girls. While the National Council for Childhood and Motherhood was trying to find suitable locations for the building of the schools according to the selected objective criteria, one of the villagers volunteered to participate in the project. He was one of Egypt's low-income people who owned very little. He submitted a request to accept his donation of a piece of land on which to build a girl-friendly school. When he was informed that this land was not going to be returned to him again, his answer was, "I wish I owned a piece of land in every village and every hamlet. I would have donated all of them to the benefits of this great project." He then burst into tears and continued, "I hope that the fate of none of Egypt's girls will be that of a 10-year-old of our village." The girl, one morning, went to her school that is very far from where she lived. She was very enthusiastic that day because she was going to find out her test results. But instead, she was raped, and this cost her life. When her family and relatives had waited for hours for her return, they went out in search of her, in every place inside and outside the village. Their search resulted in their finding her corpse. They were intensely shocked. As a solution to these problems, we can build schools. Donations will be used to subsidize farmers to compensate for the usage of their land. The donations will also be used to purchase materials and pay locals to build the schools themselves, allowing them to earn a bit more income. A volunteer with building experience from the organization will oversee the project and ensure that the building specifications are suitable for the education of young boys and girls. With this addition of schools, ideally nearby each village, girls will have a safer and better education. Donations will also be used to purchase livestock, mostly cattle, for families in order to provide an alternative source of income. Most Egyptians prefer beef over other types of meat such as poultry and lamb, and they would rather have fresh beef over frozen beef. Since there is limited local production of beef, the demand for local beef is high. Currently, there is also a rise in beef and milk prices. By purchasing cattle for the families, they can make much more money by selling their surplus beef and milk, and they can reduce some of their expenses when it comes to food. In addition to the low secondary education enrollment, there is also a very high illiteracy rate in Egypt. In 2010, 1 out of 5 girls in Egypt was illiterate. This means that around 1.6 million girls in Egypt could not read or write. This illiteracy is caused by the lack of education, due to the gender favoritism of men, when deciding on which children deserve an education. To fix this problem, we will build schools using the means mentioned earlier, but also educate parents on the importance of education and how it is important that males and females alike should receive an education. You can be the change. You can make a difference in the lives of hundreds of thousands of young Egyptian girls. Your money can help support the education and futures of so many children throughout Egypt. We can build schools, as well as help the many communities in need in these desperate times. Call the number at the bottom of the screen to donate money to our cause. Just dial 1-800-25-EGYPT or 1-800-253-4978. Press 1 to donate $5, 2 to donate $10, 3 to donate $20, and press 4 for a custom donation amount. Or finally, press 5 for more information about our cause and for answers to any of your questions about our organization. Again, call 1-800-25-EGYPT or 1-800-253-4978 to donate or for more information about our organization. And as a thanks for your generosity, you will receive a complimentary wristband. You can also visit our website, www.gpower.org, for more information.